Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So we've got a special guest coming to visit the property today. Eastonmade Wood Splitters gave me a call a few weeks ago and said they had a gentleman in my area who was looking at buying a model 1222, but he wanted to test drive it before he bought one. I don't blame him. That's a big investment. Commercial grade log splitter, somewhere in the ballpark of $10,000 to $12,000, depending on what wedges and attachments you get for it. So I told Eastonmade, yeah, I'd love to have him down. That's free labor for me. I've got all these rounds to get through. It'd be great to have somebody running the splitter while I'm loading baskets, and I can kill two birds with one stone. And then I thought for you guys as a video, it might be cool to see any questions that a prospective buyer might have before they jump in and buy one of these things. So any questions he has, I'm gonna give him my real world experience. I'm not gonna try to sell him on the splitter at all. I'm gonna let the splitter do the selling and just share my experiences with it over the last 8 to 10 months. Stick around.
Young man.
Good, how are you?
Okay.
All right, so this is Bill. This is who's coming to test out the splitter. Bill, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I live in New Jersey, and I just drove up here this morning and look at this beast of a splitter.
Yeah. So, Bill, how old are you?
I'm 74 years old.
And what are you going to be using a commercial splitter for? Why do you need it?
I need it for mainly to make my life easier.
Yeah.
As far as the physical work is concerned. I farm, I'm a hay farmer, we have horses, and we burn wood basically all year long, and not all year long, in winter time,
Yeah.
24/7.
How many cords do you burn a year?
Well, it depends on the winter, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's usually 5 to 7 cords.
Okay.
We live on top of a knoll like you do here.
Yep.
Very similar.
Yeah.
But by us, it's much more open, so the wind is just howls by us, and that's why we need so much wood to burn. And I enjoy doing it. I mean, that's the other big thing, is it's plain and simple.
Now, how many years ahead do you like to get on your firewood?
I always like to be a year ahead. In other words, what I have in my woodshed right now for this coming winter was already split. You know, so that's all already done.
So you have at least 7 cords ready to go at any given time?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And you don't sell any wood at all?
Right now, I don't sell anything at all.
Do you think you might get into selling?
I might get into that.
Yeah.
I like your idea of bundle wood. I mean, very simple. It sounds really good. And I saw your bundler, and I've also seen people who use bags and put the bags system in, so whatever. Right now, you know, I would have to wait for next year.
Yeah, so that one video I did, now you ran a commercial or a residential splitter before, right?
But yeah, I have an attachment to a tractor.
Okay.
The PTO, I mean the hydraulics from the tractor.
So that's what you're upgrading from, is a PTO hydraulic regular splitter.
Right.
So did you see that video I did on, you know, commercial splitters versus residential splitters?
I don't know if I saw that one, to be honest.
Okay, well basically in that one I did a time test to see, okay, splitting one giant round, how much faster is this splitter than just your regular residential splitter? And this one was about twice as fast, but I said that's not the only thing you have to consider. You have to think about how much less effort I put into splitting that round with this splitter versus that residential splitter. So, you know, if you're after making your life easier, that log lift right there, that's you know, lifting up those big 300-400 pound rounds.
A piece like that.
Yeah, I
mean,
well, I'll let you run one of them, because this log lift here will pick up just about anything you can put on it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get splitting. We're gonna start off with the 4-way wedge, and then we'll throw on the box wedge and do a couple splits with that as well. Stick around. So the only issue that I've had with it, and there's 2 small issues. One is, this is your what do you call it?
Pressure relief?
Yeah, this is your pressure relief, and this is your set screw. So this pressure relief screw fell out. And so one video I was doing, I couldn't tell why the ram was running so slow, and it was because this pressure relief screw had come out.
Okay.
So Andrew overnighted me another one to put in there.
Okay.
And it wasn't a hardened one, and that one broke off. It sheared off. And luckily there was enough of a head left in there that I could still back it out. And then he overnighted me another one, and this one was a hardened pressure relief set screw.
Okay.
So that's one thing that
and this doesn't hit?
yeah, that's the other issue that I've run into, is this hose here is a little close to this tire. So whenever you're going to be taking it on the road, you always want to make sure you give this just an extra little twist. And I don't know if this is something that Eastonmade has updated since I got this model, but once you get running it, it always seems to tilt down just a little bit and get pretty close to that tire. And I've actually worn a little bit not a hole, but just in that wrap,
yeah.
a little bit in that wrap has gotten frayed. So anytime I go to trailer, I just make sure to always give this a little extra twist to give some clearance between the tire there.
Choke.
Yep, so there's your choke, and that's full throttle right there.
It's already full throttle.
Yep,
okay.
and then it's got, you've got actually an electric start there.
Yeah. Guess what, I'm also used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, Oop. Let's protect those ears.
Alright, so here is the process for taking out the four-way wedge and putting in the box wedge. So underneath here, let me grab the camera and I'll show how this locks in. Is with this boomerang log lift, and your cylinder is back there. It locks in down here, so when you want to take this out, you have to make sure it's all the way down position, so that way it's not locked in. And then up top here, you can go ahead and just lift this right out. And actually you can do it, here I'll show you, I can do it by myself.
Okay.
It just lifts right out, like that. It is heavy, but you know, if you're young, you can do it by yourself. If you're a little older, you might need an extra hand.
Okay.
But yeah, here, did you pick this up yet to see how heavy it is?
Oh yeah, I picked the other one up.
Yeah.
The other one. Oh, no, I have it.
Yep. All right, and then this is the box wedge, and this one you cannot lift by yourself or even with two people. It's too hard. It's probably 300 or 400 pounds. So we'll get the pallet forks out and load this in with that. So yeah, the circle one goes through.
Okay.
I got this side if you grab that side.
The
there.
circle goes here,
Yep.
yeah? Okay. For a second there, I thought the square one would fit in there.
Nope, and the reason that one is circular is so when you
rotate.
when you raise the wedge, this can swing
rotate.
up with the wedge.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that goes on like that.
And this,
Yep, and then this goes on like this.
watch your fingers.
There we go.
But that just slides on this.
Yep, and then that, yeah, just rides right along the top of here.
What is true here is the fact this is very wet.
Yep.
And
yeah, you can see the water coming out.
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that also obviously affects the splitting
Yeah.
and stuff. But like you said, this is a lot of kindling.
All right, so we just got done filling up this basket here. This was all sugar maple, pretty green wood. Everything was probably 18 or 20 inches in diameter. But you, as a prospective buyer of a commercial splitter, we split probably almost a third of a cord with the 4-way wedge, and that's a full third of a cord with the box wedge. What do you think?
Well, both have their, so to speak, each wedge has a specific purpose.
Yep.
It seems to me very much so. If you get the smaller rounds, the 4-way is much better.
Yeah.
If you get a bigger wedge, you don't have to pick them up again. The box wedge is much better. Okay. You do get kindling, but kindling is good. If you're a wood burner, you always need kindling.
Yeah, here, I'll show you the scrap off of both wedges. So here's the scrap off of the box wedge. Obviously there's going to be a little bit more, but a lot of this stuff you can come out here and collect for kindling. Like, these are really good kindling pieces here. Absolutely. A lot of this stuff is perfect, but there's a lot more of it than if you look at our pile from the 4-way wedge. This is our pile of scrap from the 4-way wedge. A lot less because you can get more precise with where you're placing that wedge in the wood. All right, so I'm going to ask you the big question. Do you think you're going to buy one?
As I said to you right now, that Jerry gave me a delivery date right now of end of March, beginning of April. He's taking orders for.
Yeah, they're really backed up, aren't they?
Yeah, and that kind of puts everything in perspective.
Yeah.
You know, right now I have piles like you have over here at home that I would love to be splitting, but not with a single wedge. And thus, you know, I would really like to get one. You know?
Yeah.
So, but I am definitely interested in, you know, obviously I didn't drive 6 hours right now just to come and look at the machine.
Right.
It is amazing. Look how much it did.
Yeah.
In a relatively short time. I don't know how long we've been at it actually.
Probably maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, it takes a little while to get used to and figure out what
which
levers
lever goes in which direction too.
Yeah. Because, you know, this one goes forward, and then you have to push this one forward to bring it back.
Yeah.
So there's the learning curve, and it definitely goes faster with two people. I enjoyed having you here and, and running the splitter. That way I can get all this stacked, because normally I'd split all this and then stack it after, and it'd take twice as long.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a wonderful piece of machinery. There's no doubt about it. You know, I've looked also at a lot of the other.
I was going to ask you, what other competitors have you looked at?
Oh, Wolfridge, I guess, is the one that comes to mind most often.
Yep.
And I've just been with the splitter wars, all the other ones, you know, the both ways, or the flywheel splitter.
Yeah.
It just doesn't hold a candle to these things.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know GP Outdoors has that Brave dual split.
Yeah.
That splits in both directions.
But he just got delivery of a
the 2228.
Yeah, and also the
conveyor.
The conveyor.
The
thank
STK
you. Yeah,
24.
whatever it was. Yeah, 24.
Yeah.
24. Yeah, and it, you know, and if you start making, you know, the ones we are split today too had a lot of big knots in it.
Yeah.
Wet and knots makes it very difficult to split.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, this one can get hung up a little bit, but usually you can find a way to rotate that wood to a, you know, break it down to a more manageable size so that you can still run it through. I have found very few pieces that I had to just toss to the side because I couldn't split them. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of working the wood to fit through the wedge. Yeah,
and sometimes too you would you know, split, which well, here you can't go any higher than this. So I'm thinking of a big piece like that. How do you deal with something like that? You know, that looks like about well 2.5 feet maybe.
Honestly, for a big piece like that, I'd probably put the 4-way on and just bust it into smaller pieces.
And then
just because it's going to be
too big.
Yeah, to try to twist and move on the table there, it's too heavy. You know, you can get it up there, but as far as adjusting it and everything, it's just too big.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. There's no doubt about it.
All right, well, let's wrap this one up. Hey, thank you for coming and helping me out. I got 2/3 of a cord split here. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, click that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and check out some other videos. Thanks for watching.